That was good. I'm Russell Coight and this is my backyard.
From the rich red colours of our outback deserts to the cooling waters of an untouched rainforest stream. But if you think deserts are all rock and sand, think again. This is Lake Menangi. 9 years out of 10, it's bone dry. But after such a big wet season, there was water in the old girl again. And it didn't take long for a couple of local lads to find out.
G'day, Rob.
G'day, Russ.
How you going, mate? Good to see you again. Yeah, good to see a bit of water in the lake again.
Yeah, a bit of a big wet this year, got a bit back in it again.
Yeah, very nice. Any crocs out there?
Oh,
A couple?
a few crocs, mate.
Yeah.
Pretty hungry,
I reckon
especially
they
since they had all the sharks out.
So, would you be up for a ski, mate?
Mate, I'll put the skis on, you count the crocs. You're on.
There's no doubting it. Aussies love a challenge, and when these boys dared me to strap on their skis and cross a croc-filled lake, it was a bet I couldn't knock back. It was then I spotted him, a big saltwater croc, cruising in the shallows. I had to act quick or I'd be steering straight into the face of big trouble. Time for a bit of whitewater action. The Daintree is cut by dozens of rivers, and if you ask me, nothing beats the adrenaline rush of taking a kayak down one of these croc-filled canyons. Call me crazy, but it's a challenge I just couldn't refuse.
What I'm attempting here is a VSE or vertical slide entry. We use it when it's difficult to get to the water because of steep banks or vegetation. The trick is you've got to hit the water at just the right angle to avoid capsizing. Takes a bit of practice, but you soon get the hang of it.
All Aussie adventures, time to hit the road.
So mate, what seems to be the problem?
Freshwater croc, Russ. Terrace swimming hole, she's got to come out.
It's not good, is it? How big?
4 or 5 foot.
It's scared of kids, I suppose.
Oh, true.
Yeah. Is she sick?
Maybe.
Yeah, probably just sort of like either she's sick or she's protecting her young or whatever, but they'll probably hang around here for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
What I'd like to do is come back tonight, get a hold of her and maybe transport her to another area where she's safe and your tourists are safe as well because we moved her on. Mate, you did the right thing. In the meantime, let's go get a beer.
Nighttime is when these prehistoric marsupials are least wary. So that night, armed with just a torch and a gill net, I returned to the swimming hole. Australia has 2 types of crocs, saltwater or salties, and freshwater or freshwater. Freshwater crocs will not normally attack humans, but this one was sick, possibly wounded, and therefore potentially dangerous. It was tricky, tense, dangerous work, but someone had to do it.
Just waiting. She probably knows I'm here. What I'm going to do, grab by the tail and get her behind the neck as quick as possible. Because she knows I've got her, she'll swing around and take a lump out of me. I'll tell you what, that can hurt. She's about 5 foot, but she's going to be real strong underwater. Remember, I'm in her territory. She's not in mine. She's the boss. So I've got to move very quietly, very easily. And there she brushed against me. Just got to wait. Just move back. I'll draw her into the shore a little bit. Draw her back. Draw her back. I'll just see if I can. There she goes.
All Aussie adventures. We were on board my old mate Mike Denning's boat, the Wayway. Mike needed someone to help him locate and explore a new dive site about 10 miles off the coast. And who did he ask? Yours truly, me. It took a bit of finding, but eventually we found the spot.
You know, a lot of city slickers come up here in their glass-bottom boats, but for mine, the only way to see the Great Barrier Reef is from under the water. Let's go do that now.
Far North Queensland has long been renowned as a renowned fishing location. Over the years, hundreds of enthusiastic anglers have tried their luck up this way, all chasing one thing, the mighty barra. If you're planning to fish anywhere up this way, you can't beat a bit of local knowledge, and your first stop has got to be the Lure in Cooktown. It's a butte tackle shop owned by an old mate of mine, Peter Fuchs.
G'day, Pete. How are you, mate? Good to see you again. G'day, Pete. How are you, mate? What are the chances of maybe heading out and see what we can do in the barramundi department?
Oh, every chance.
Every chance.
Keen, right.
Okay.
Yep.
Let's go.
Well, it didn't take long for the word to spread that the barra were on the bite. And just look what the cat dragged in.
G'day, Brian. G'day.
How you going, Ross?
Yeah, Russell.
How you going, mate? Leonard.
Oh, g'day, Leonard. What about we have a bit of a wager? Maybe see who catches the biggest barra.
Why not?
That sounds fair enough. Whoever doesn't catch the biggest one buys the beers.
Right.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. only thing you'll be catching is a cold. Okay, it's time to head off and see if we can't catch ourselves a barramundi. The rivers around here are fairly tidal, so where the fish bite depends on what's happening with the tide. There's a couple of big holes up here where the barra like to school, so let's go there now and see if we can't catch ourselves a barramundi. So let's go and catch ourselves a barramundi. With a few beers up for grabs, I was glad to have Pete on my team. He knows this river like the back of his hand. If there's anyone who can put us on to decent barra, Pete's the man. Eventually, we found what looked like the perfect spot. Time to get those rods and lures into the water, and who knows what we might catch. Pete, how many different types of fish would we get in this area?
Oh, plenty. The list is endless. You've got barramundi, bream, flathead, whiting, trevally.
Yeah.
Oh, there's 3 sorts of greenfish. Lesser greenfish.
So there's certainly
giant
a
greenfish.
lot of type of different fish you get here, and the
yeah.
reason is that it's so well managed because the people who run this area make sure that there are licensing rules. There's, there's bagging rules, that sort of thing. They really get out there and manage the whole area entirely, and that's important when you want an area like this to be full of fish, so you can go out there and fish. Pete, that's enough fish, thanks. So don't ever forget that.
Gold spot cod, black spot cod, blue spot cod.
With nothing taking our bait, it was time to find another spot, and Pete had one in mind. But wouldn't you know it, things were still a little slow.
Doesn't seem to be much happening, Pete.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's fishing.
Why is that?
Oh, tides. We're getting towards the bottom of the tide, and yeah, once things get around the bottom of the tide, yeah, it's same as the top of the tide. Things just sort of slow down a little bit. That can be part of it.
Any chance of anything happening?
Yeah, I think so. Once that tide turns.
Oh well, let's hope so, eh?
A lazy hour or so fishing in a tropical paradise didn't sound like such a bad idea to me. It sure beats a day at the office.
Has the tide changed yet, Pete?
Yeah, it has actually.
Well, why isn't anything happening? Because I have not had one nibble.
No, well, that's sort of sometimes what happens, but all we can do is just keep trying.
Well, is there anything else we can do? Because I got to,
Yeah, we can try a few other different spots.
Fish 1, fisherman 0. But the game wasn't over yet, not by a long shot. And if anyone can put us on to barra, Pete's the man.
It's 4:30, Pete.
Yeah, it's been a while, hasn't it? Again. Best laid plans.
That's Pete for you. Even in the worst of times, he's quoting Hemingway.
Is this a waste of time, or is there anything we can?
Never a waste of time.
It felt good to know I was in the hands of an experienced guy.
How many years have you been doing this?
Quite a few.
So you know the area well.
Well, I think I do. I hope I do.
You caught fish here before on this spot?
I've caught fish here in this spot, yeah.
As they
Not here
say,
in this
fishing is all about patience.
Not today, though.
Not today. No.
No, not today.
Being prepared to wait it out.
Can I have a drive of the boat?
And wouldn't you know it, not long after, we hooked up. With a barramundi in the boat, it was time to head for home. And with the lights of Cooktown in the distance, I could feel our hunger coming on. Time to get cooking.
Hi and welcome to my kitchen.
It's beautiful, isn't it? You can keep your microwave ovens and your vertical grillers. This is all I need. I've got an open fire and some sand here, and we're going to cook up that barramundi that we caught today. Okay? Watch and learn. Step 1 is to dig a hole in the sand. Then take your fish, place it in the hole, and cover it in hot coals.
Like that.
After that,
There
you
you go.
cover it in
Cover it up
sand
with a
and
bit of
leave
sand.
the whole thing for an hour or so, while you kick back with a couple of coldies. I tell you what, those cold beers sure went down a treat. And naturally enough, there were a few fishing tales told that evening.
Surrounded by 3 crocodiles.
Even Pete's mum Estelle joined in the fun.
Mackerel, Queenies, trevally, mangrove jack, fingermark, mackerel, barra, whiting, brim.
With the sun well and truly over the yard arm, it was time to find our fish and tuck into some tropical tucker, bush kitchen style.
Yeah, I think the tide's come in a bit.
Oh. Okay, just because we'd forgotten to read the tide chart didn't mean we couldn't enjoy a feast fit for a king.
Found it.
And there she was, cooked to perfection.
Oh, have a look at that.
Magnificent.
Oh, absolutely beautiful.
Well, that was a meal to remember. The rains also bring life to our billabongs and freshwater creeks. Places a man can relax and find a little relief from the outback heat. These creeks and billabongs around here are an excellent source of bush tucker. On the banks you get your nuts and your berries, of course. And in here, you've got fish, yabbies, and what I'm looking for today, freshwater eels. Oof, missed him. If you're quick and you've got a sharp eye and a sharp stick like this one, you can get yourself lunch. Oh! 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 As well as being a fantastic way to take in some beautiful countryside, these rubber dinghies or rafts are a terrific way of looking for bush tucker. And I don't know whether you can see them, but what we've got here is some water lilies, what the Aborigines call Woolnjala plants. And you'd be surprised that these are an excellent source of bush tucker. It's not the leaf itself or the flower, it's the stem underneath. And if I can just get you one out, they're actually fairly thick, and so they're actually quite strong. So I'll just get my knife and we'll cut one off. And oh, there we are, that got it. That got it. There you have it. You can see that the stem there is actually an excellent source of bush tucker, good nutrition, and you can boil that up into a stew or maybe even a tea. Let's just maybe paddle to the other side and get the fire going and get ourselves some bush tucker. Old cattle route. With a party of tourists booked in and his only driver off sick, he needed help. Captain Coight to the rescue.
Okay.
Guiding a boatload of passengers who couldn't believe their luck that I was at the helm.
My right, your left, if you're facing the other way, you'll see a beautiful beach. Beautiful beaches like this one all throughout the area up here, in fresh water. But not as many sharks, that's for sure.
These folks couldn't get enough of my Aussie
If you're
wit.
facing the other way, you can see.
Not to mention my extensive knowledge of the local
trees,
area.
with those pines in amongst them. Now, I know what you're saying.
This is boring.
You're saying that they're not
An
native.
amphibious boat like this is a top way of checking out some special sights. And these happy holiday makers were enjoying the ride of their life.
Just hang on a second.
Courtesy of Rear Admiral Russell.
Got my microphone cord here. I just got to.
And I tell you what, there's nothing like going off the beaten track.
Wait.
Time to hit the road. Australia is an island nation with over 12,000 kilometres of coastline, most of which is surrounded by water. Our beaches are popular places for holiday makers, but the fact is, where there's water and waves, there's also danger. Which is why whenever I'm passing through, I make a point of dropping by the local surf lifesaving club and sharing my years of experience. Okay, listen up everybody. The key to beach rescue is speed. You get someone out there with a cramp or in a rib, you haven't got much time. You need to get in there, out to them as quickly as possible, then give the signal. Watch Even the safest looking beach can hide hidden dangers and currents, and a drowning swimmer won't last long if help doesn't come from the shore. Time can be the difference between life and death. Most people know me for my outback bush skills, but these kids were learning fast that I had a lot of strings to my survival bow.
Okay, we're set. Go. Then, this is the manner of giving the signal. No! Not yet! Not now!
Hey, do you know any good places around here to go for swimming?
A swim?
Yeah.
That'd be fantastic. What, all three of us together?
Yeah.
Remote beaches are my specialty, and in no time I found a turn-off and headed down a four-wheel drive track to a secluded little spot where no one would bother us.
Okay, last one in, right there.
Time for some action. One thing you can't do out here is pop down to the local store for supplies. In the bush, you either bring provisions or learn how to find them. Luckily, I've had a bit of experience. Just give me a sharp knife and a decent stick, and I reckon I can tickle up something for the table. If you get my point, that is. Yep, time for a bit of outback spearfishing. And I reckon I know just the spot. Waterholes and billabongs such as this one are a natural source of bush tucker. Eels, yabbies and native fish like barramundi all call these sort of places home. And with a keen eye along with sharp reflexes, you'll find that food is not hard to find.
Say hello to lunch. It's a platypus.
With dinner taken care of, it was time to head back to camp.
Come away. It's the third one this week.
Of course, all work and no play is not how I like to fill my day. And a couple of clicks down the road, I had some mates waiting with a boat on the river. Time for a bit of Russell Coight R&R. But naturally, it's always safety first.
You know, on a hot day, there's nothing I enjoy more than putting on a set of skis and heading out onto the river. But no matter how experienced you are, you always want to wear one of these. It's a safety vest. That way, if I have a fall or get into trouble, I'll always float on top of the water. Remember, it's not on. It's not on. Okay, set to go. Give it a whirl. You went too early. I meant to give you the thumbs up. Where's the pants? The pants have come off under the... No photographs. No, just find my pants.
All Aussie adventures, time to hit the road. Anchors away on the mighty Murray River. Home to a pretty rare species of fish known as trout cod. Some scientist mates of mine wanted me to help collect a few for research purposes. Trouble is, there's only one or two isolated schools of these critically endangered critters along this entire stretch of river. It took a bit of hunting, but with the help of the sonar, I managed to track some down.
Okay, I've just spotted on the sonar some trout cod. I've switched off the main motor. I'm going to go to the electric motor for two reasons. It gives me more manoeuvrability, and two, it protects this fragile river environment. Okay, here we go.
Now it was just a question of carefully harvesting a few select samples. It's delicate work, but I was the perfect man for the mission. Any chance to help with preserving our precious biodiversity, and I'll be putting my hand up.
Yeah, the blades have, yeah, they're deep.
Time to get those samples back to the lab, with no time to lose. After a few solid weeks of poking about the outback, I always look forward to letting my hair down. And what better way than by getting out on the water? But drop by any boat ramp and you'll soon see that for many Aussies, simply launching their craft can be a major challenge.
Okay, right hand down, that's good. Right hand, middle left.
That's when yours truly finds himself called in to lend a hand.
Just put the plugs in and whoa!
But of course, reversing a trailer is merely step one. There's a lot more to safe boating. You know, there's nothing I enjoy more than a day on the water. But you'd be surprised at people who don't know the rules of the road, or the water for that matter. It's pretty simple. When one vessel approaches another vessel on the port side, the left gives way to the vessel on the starboard side, the right. PLSR. Remember that. How do you do that? You make up a sentence. Paul licks Simon... No, he doesn't. Pat likes Simon's... Forget about that. Make up your own sentence, OK? But do remember that, PLSR. That way you won't end up ramming someone. Anyway, let's go have some fun. Oh, there is one other golden rule, and that's...
Always keep your eyes open, especially the kids. Have they gone?
The fact is, boat safety starts on shore. But once you know the rules, there's nothing stopping you from getting out on the open water.
Doing a TV show. Keep moving. Kids, can you get my hat?
Make no mistake, we Aussies love hitting the waves. And whether it's a slow cruise or a high-speed hit of adrenaline, nothing beats hauling anchor and setting sail. But one thing I've learned over the years is to never take water safety for granted. Those who do often end up paying a high price. Truth is, it doesn't take much to keep out of trouble, as long as you carry the right equipment.
Even if you're heading only a few hundred metres offshore, don't even think about thinking of going without thinking about a set of these. They're marine flares. I never head offshore without 2 parachute, 2 smoke, and at least half a dozen handheld flares. The one I'm going for is a daylight flare. So when I get into an emergency situation, I simply load it and it's as easy as that. Now that'll be seen for a 1 kilometre radius. Hopefully a boat will come to your assistance and everything will be fine. Okay, that's going to blow. Get out. Get out. That's going to go. He's going to go. He's going to go. Get back, 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 back. Oh. Oh. Get back. There's a whole lot more to go.